Now, it appears that we were mistaken about how Yung Miami supposedly escaped Diddy unscathed because new reports claim that she was also allegedly hurt by Diddy. Now, I know that Miami likes to talk a big game and act tough, but you all already know that nobody is safe when it comes to Diddy. According to Miami's ex-boyfriend, Diddy allegedly messed up her body since Cassie first filed her lawsuit. Yung Miami has been fairly silent about Diddy's illegal drama, and for a long time, fans assumed that it was because she was complicit in the mess. However, her ex is finally attempting to correct the record, and the receipts he pulled up have shocked the internet. To be fair, it's difficult to blame anyone for believing that Miami wasn't entirely innocent. She looked to have a madame aura to her, and on multiple occasions, it appeared as though she was Diddy's favorite since she openly threatened other ladies. Take Diddy's side piece, for instance. Long before Miami entered the scene, Gina Hun had been having affairs with Diddy. Nevertheless, Miami felt confident enough to threaten to force Gina into a fight with Diddy. Miami boldly tweeted, "If I wanted you to eat my pee, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You, Gina, have been down bad ever since I entered the picture. You've been crying for a baby for 10 years. You've been around as a bee that eats P&D when he feels like it. You are the same bee that was crying on Tasha K because you wanted a baby, poor sushi." Not only that, but according to court documents filed in July 2022, she was also mentioned in a lawsuit filed by one of Diddy's victims, who said that Miami had harassed her so severely when she became pregnant with Diddy's child that she lost it. Jane Doe went to defendant Combs's house in Los Angeles at his direction, while using defendant Combs's lavatory. Was forced to consume an unidentified chemical. Jane Doe later discovered that it was or contained ketamine and other substances that caused her to black out and lose consciousness intermittently throughout the night. She claimed that after losing consciousness due to the substances, she woke up covered in bruises, realizing that something horrible had happened to her during that time. She wrote that Combs would force her to perform a show for him and would continue to give her alcohol and drugs until she passed out. Continued until July 2024. The victim continued to claim that she eventually became pregnant with Diddy's child, which allegedly caused Yung Miami to miscarry. The document stated that shortly after, Jane Doe took a pregnancy test, which came back positive. Jane Doe told defendant Combs that the test was positive. It was difficult to see Miami as a victim because Carisha Brown Lee, the defendant Combs's associate, called her repeatedly and told her to fire Jane Doe. Jane Doe had a miscarriage and had not spoken to Combs or his team for about 3 months. So, yes, it was difficult to accept Miami as a victim, but the truth in situations like this is that two realities can coexist. While she may have been cruel to other women, she may also have been a victim herself, and according to a man fans thought was her ex, she was allegedly victimized by Diddy. The ex is saying that we have things wrong and that there was more to the story than we were told. For instance, Lil Rose claimed that Miami used to transport drugs for Diddy. Ross said, "Plaintiff and the Combs Rico Enterprise were rehearsing for something in Westville, Virginia. The paperwork states that Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs do a few lines of nose candy in his dressing room. Defendant Sean Combs wanted to see, but Brendan forgot it. So defendant Christina Carorm called Yung Miami, who then brought it on the private jet from Miami. The alleged ex is now saying that she had no choice but to follow Diddy's instructions or face consequences. This may seem unbelievable at first, but during the trial, several witnesses testified that you had to obey Diddy at all times, or he would get angry. And you all know what happens when he gets angry? He has been accused of putting his paws on a lot of women. So everyone just went along with what he wanted. Therefore, if Diddy wanted Yung Miami to drop everything and bring him nose candy wherever he was, that's what would have happened. But wait, that's not all.
Got to.
It say take a shower if you like golden showers. I do.
Golden showers, meaning when the guy pees on you.
Mhm.
He on you everywhere? You like it?
I just like it.
You do? Sweet.
Rumor has it that she did it as a coping mechanism because she had no control over whether it happened again. If Diddy told her to get on her knees and be leaked on, she had no other option. This is why she abruptly attempted to retract her claims. After Diddy was arrested, saying that she had never done that with him, tweeted, "I never said he was the one I did that with. Intimacy is a part of life. I'm grown, and maybe I talk about it too much, but everybody's got their own personal experiences. Some people get pooped on, some people live life on the edge, okay? And some people are born AF. I see a lot of P girls getting urinated on if we grow up and are in the house just relaxing and want to talk about intimacy. What's wrong with that? However, it appears that she was merely attempting to protect herself from the humiliation, according to the alleged ex. Like Cassie, she had no choice but to comply with Diddy's wishes. And during the prosecutor's cross-examination, Cassie acknowledged that Diddy would make her perform free coughs, even when she was menstruating. The prosecutor also asked her, "Did you want to urinate on?" Cassie then answered, "No, I didn't want it. It was disgusting. It was too much." "No one could think I wanted it," she said, in response to the prosecutor's question about how it felt. "Too much urine in my mouth. I didn't want anyone to urinate on me," she said in response to the question of why and whether she wanted Diddy to urinate in her mouth. "It was obvious I didn't want to be on the ground being urinated on by two men, but then things got weirder when one of the escorts took a stand and claimed that Cassie was the one who asked him to take a leak on her in court documents," he said. "So Cassie was actually the one that asked me to urinate on her. They had just come out of the room and she asked me if I had ever done it before, and I said no, and she told me to do it, and apparently I was doing it wrong because they both stopped me and told me that I was supposed to let a little out at a time and not go full like take a leak on her. So this kind of made it seem like Cassie wanted it when Diddy was the one pulling the strings the entire time. It looked like this was the same case with Yung Miami when we thought she was the one running the show. Meanwhile, she was just a puppet. Oh, and from the looks of it, she didn't exactly escape. Diddy's anger either gone by this picture that she tried to dismiss as a regular household accident. It seems like he might have been putting paws on her. In addition to everything else, I won't deny that learning that Miami was also purportedly a victim was rather unexpected. But it just serves to highlight the fact that victims aren't always flawless. Occasionally they have flaws and have made mistakes, but that doesn't change the fact that they are victims. Having said that, I'm curious about your thoughts on Miami's ex's remarks. Do you believe he's speaking the truth? Or are you merely attempting to assist her in cleaning up her image? Please share your thoughts about this in the comments section below, and then